So more staff drama this week for BizGear. So we were already short-staffed and dealing with issues, and we had another staff member, his partner, hurt herself quite badly, and she needed to be hospitalised. So he's now out of the business. When I arrived today, we basically had half of the team trying to carry the load for everybody. So this has exaggerated the short staffing issue, which has actually kind of been good, because this is something that I've mentioned to the business owner a couple of times. He's wanted to see what we can do with minimal staff, which I've explained before, which is fair enough, but it was becoming pretty obvious. I think it was the last video I mentioned that it was starting to take a toll on the staff, and now it's having an impact on all of the top people in the business, on their ability to do all of the critical high level operational things that just need to be done. So it's now become obvious that we're going to need to hire, which is great, because this now gives us a bit of a catalyst to start getting the organisational structure closer to how we want it to be for the future. On the sales front of things, sales side of things, it's still looking like they are just going to scrape in for this month at the new higher target levels. And this is with one half of their sales team away. So one of their reps has been away for for 3/4 of the month. So that all being considered, the sales trend is still looking pretty good so far. We also physically got the product catalogue that I was kind of hoping we would have our hands on. So I saw the printed output of that today, and it looks great. This is something that they designed using Canva AI, and they ended up going through my connection in the printing industry and got some really good quality finished product. So with a new month starting next week, we're actually going to use that catalogue as a bit of a kick-off to this, because we're about to start a new quarter, and it's the last quarter of the financial year. So that is both a sales opportunity and a potential challenge, just depending. Some companies, some of the larger companies that the BizGear are dealing with, they are going to have budgets that they're going to be look to spend prior to the end of financial year, but there are also going to be a fair percentage of clients who will have already spent their allocation for the financial year and won't be looking to spend until the new financial year. So that's something that the reps need to be aware of. However, we're also moving into the cooler season, coming into winter, and so that's also a prime opportunity for the reps to be focusing on things like uniforms and warmer clothing and winter gear. So they're all topics that have been put on for next week's sales meeting, and as well as the rollout of the new product catalogue. We've got 2 other print catalogues in development, and they're getting pretty close to finish stage. So that is going to be brilliant, because they're critical parts of the reps sales toolkit. the other work that we've been doing with the staff audits, the action items, and the strategies for expanding the products that are being sold amongst their clients. So that's looking good. Now, what the staff thing allowed me to do today was actually start a review of the organisational chart. They don't actually have a formal chart laid out for how the organisation is supposed to work and which roles are supposed to be responsible for different key things in the business. And what today allowed me to do was actually pretty beneficial from a cultural point of view and from addressing one of the big issues that I've mentioned a few times, and in fact mentioned in the last video, about our general manager not really being fulfilling the role of a general manager, yet still fulfilling some important operational duties. And the fact that the oldest son has grown to become quite a competent individual with general management potential. What we've realised is there's actually an opportunity for our current GM to take a new role, which is really very close to what he's been doing, but they hadn't made the connection in their own minds as to what he's actually been doing and how it fits into the structure. And what I identified in today's meeting, and after thinking about it for several weeks, trying to figure out how we solve this problem and allow this person to keep adding value to the business rather than just get rid of them because we don't technically need a general manager anymore, what we've realised is the role that he would fill, and this would be a role that the business requires whether or not he was there. So if he left, we would actually probably hire a fulfillment coordinator, and he's actually doing a fair bit of the work that we would want that position to do. It just needs a few tweaks, and with these responsibilities allocated clearly and specifically, there's about 3 or 4 other roles within the structure that would then report to him. But this would then free up the oldest son to perform as the operations manager and focus more on things like warehousing, and he's been doing a fair bit of the marketing side of things as well. And so I put that structure together while I was talking with the owner and the oldest son today, and put it in front of them, and they're both really happy with it. So we think we've got a way forward there, which then leads into the admission that we need to hire, and the role we need to hire for is another driver, which should be a fairly easy role to fill. So my plan is that next week I will be working with the GM / fulfillment coordinator to flesh out the driver's role description, and we'll also be looking at placing an ad for a driver within the next week or two. So looks like the role descriptions, org chart things happening a little faster than I thought it was going to, but the timing feels right because it's going to address 2 key issues that we're having in the business right now. And with the sales flowing in the direction, seeming to be flowing in the direction that we've been looking for, the owner's starting to get more confidence, or has enough confidence to look at actually hiring for that additional position. And because he realizes that if we don't, the distraction from everybody else is actually holding the business back from moving forward. And he's seen the momentum. He sees that what we're doing can create that that inertia and that forward momentum. So yeah, interesting. Another interesting week with BizGear. And I will see what happens next week and let you know.